It's Friday, June 30. In the headlines, new Therapeutic Center to cater to children in state care. In business news, JSC to launch direct market access to the U.S. by end of June. Regionally, Barbados and region to benefit from Afrexim Bank funds. Internationally, U.S. top court bans colleges from considering race in admissions. And in sports, Olympian Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, ambassador for Richard Mille brand. In entertainment news, Jamaicans perform at BET Awards and U.S. actress Kerry-Ann Washington's visit to Jamaica. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. A $200 million state-of-the-art therapeutic center, which will cater to the needs of children in state care aged 12 to 18, was officially opened at the Maxfield Children's Home in St. Andrew. Minister of Education and Youth Fayval Williams says data from the Child Protection and Family Service Agency shows that Jamaican children are experiencing unprecedented trauma and abuse in homes and communities.
Too many of our children are being subjected to the kind of stress we associate with adulthood. And we know that when this stress is introduced into a child's world so early on, it can take root and it does damage, which then manifests into all kinds of undesirable behavior as that child grows into adulthood.
Minister Williams explains that children are no longer experiencing hands-on support from their community, so the government is taking action to undo the damage.
By providing interventions such as the services that will be offered at this center, I believe we're striving to make a difference in the lives of our children. So I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and to thank the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, which is an agency in the Prime Minister's office, for managing the project, for the build-out of the center. And I also want to acknowledge and thank the Caribbean Development Bank for its funding support.
The Child Protection and Family Services Agency's Therapeutic Center, which is the first of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean, was formally handed over by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Mr. Holness said there is currently no facility for delivering effective screening, assessment and therapeutic treatment for children who are exhibiting behavioral challenges. He told attendants that the center will provide programs to end the cycle of abuse in homes in a holistic and comprehensive support package.
Overall, the project will benefit 4,400 children in state care, that is, children's homes, places of safety, foster care, family reintegration, and those in need of psychological and mental interventions. Additionally, the project will benefit 16,000 children and their families who will access the services of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency on an annual basis.
The government is working on the legislative framework for children in need of care and protection. These include amendments to Section 24 of the Child Care and Protection Act. The CPFSA staff will also benefit from a series of training programs. These include 27 social workers and 161 caregivers from 48 children's homes who will be trained in skills to equip them for the workplace. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clarke, has launched full scholarships valued at $2.5 billion for 1,250 new student teachers at the Michael University College as part of the government's push to advance science, technology, engineering and mathematics education. Speaking at the launch of the scholarships on Thursday in New Kingston, Minister Clarke said the government has instituted the 5-year program to ensure a STEM-competent workforce.
Now, if Jamaica is to accelerate our pace of growth. We will have to ensure that we have a STEM competent workforce that can attract the jobs of the future.
He argued that for the country's level of growth to be accelerated, as well as to get to the next phase of development, Jamaica must produce far more STEM-capable students, noting that as the reason for the signing of an MOU with the Micro University College for full scholarships to train STEM teachers.
If we are serious about elevating our levels of growth and accelerating our pace of development, we are going to have to produce far more math and science and engineering and technology capable students coming out of our secondary system. And that all starts with teachers.
The Finance Ministry is partnering with the Students' Loan Bureau and the Micro University to deliver the scholarship program. Dr. Clark had announced the initiative during his budget debate presentation in March. Time now for the Business Report with Danita Rodney.
Welcome to PBCJ's Extended Business Report. I'm Danita Rodney. The Jamaica Stock Exchange has officially launched its direct market access platform with the intent to launch to the U.S. by the end of this month. JSC Managing Director Marlene Street Forrest says despite only two companies, Barita and QMEX Wealth Management, offering services to Canada, investors are seeing benefits.
We have had testimonials from investors that have indicated that they are benefiting from the investments. That's phase one. Phase two, now we are working with having the US, and that is supposed to be delivered by the end of June. In respect to other broker members, we have had several more brokers demonstrating that they are interested in coming on board for the DMA. So I think that all is positive.
According to Manager of Registrar and Depository Services, Mrs. Kadilmat North Hermit, the direct market access allows local investors to invest in securities internationally.
Now, this platform provides access to electronic facilities and order books of financial market exchanges that facilitate daily securities transactions. Now, simply put, all I'm saying is that it gives access to investors through their local brokers that amount of access. It allows investors through their local brokers access to stock exchanges in other jurisdictions.
Mrs. Hewitt, speaking at the JSC's Direct Market Access webinar, gave insight on the first working version of the platform.
Now, in this first version of the platform, investors can trade Canadian securities. So what we have done, we have an arrangement with a Canadian broker so that our DMA platform speaks to their electronic platform, and so trading is seamless. And we're hoping to be opening up to the US market in very short order.
The Tourism Enhancement Fund is moving to ensure that Jamaica becomes a more resilient destination with the creation of a business continuity planning animation series. Executive Director of TEF, Dr. Kerry Wallace, says it was created to raise awareness about building resilience. He says Episode 1 is an introduction to business continuity planning and speaks to the reason for its importance. He indicated that Episode 2 covers what is business continuity, Episode 3 deals with risk management, while Episode 4 speaks to business impact analysis. You can watch it on their YouTube page at TEF Jamaica. In addition to the animation series, persons can also access the Business Continuity Plan Guidebook to get additional information or to use it to follow along. Now for your market updates. In foreign exchange trading for Thursday, June 29, the US dollar sold for an average of $155.15. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $117.09. The pound sterling traded for $195.94, and the euro sold for $171.48. In JSE trading, the JSE index advanced by 630 points. The junior market index advanced by 53 points. The junior market index advanced by 1,075 points, and the All Jamaican Composite Index advanced by 710 points. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 108 stocks, of which 60 advanced, 30 declined, and 18 traded firm. Stocks advanced for 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited, AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited, and Barita Investments Limited. Stocks declined for Access Financial Services Limited, CAC 2000 Limited, and Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited. Trading firm were 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited, Verbal Preference, Siboney Group Limited, and Elite Diagnostic Limited. The overall volume leaders were JFP Limited with over 100 million units, Trans Jamaican Highway Limited with over 12 million units, and One-on-One Educational Services Limited with over 4 million units. In regional stocks, in Trinidad and Tobago, Calypso Macro Index Fund posted a volume of 10 shares. On the Barbados Stock Exchange, 0 securities traded. In regional news, in 2022, Tobago's economy declined. This is according to Minority Leader Kevlon Morris during his contribution to the budget debate in the Tobago House of Assembly on Thursday.
Tobago's economy declined by 2%. Construction and quarrying declined by a mammoth 34.7%. Finance and real estate declined by 5.1%. And the agricultural sector declined by 9.5%, whilst the manufacturing sector declined by an alarming 16.2%. Deputy Presiding Officer, the Chief Secretary in his delivery of the budget presentation on Monday refused and or neglected to present the data I just mentioned above.
Mr. Morris described Monday's budget presentation as a fairy tale, as he noted the THA had additional resources to care for Tobago's economy.
What is even more alarming is that this administration had an increase in allocation of over $300 million in fiscal 2021. This, as far as I can recall, has been the highest allocation of any Tobago House of Assembly administration. Yet, on the watch of this Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance, we had declining.
The minority leader also accused the THA administration of political victimization and the abandonment of several projects on the island. Mr. Morris said instead of fighting for Tobago, the executive has been fighting against Tobagonians.
In international business, U.S. stocks closed higher with bank shares rallying after major lenders passed the Federal Reserve's annual stress test.
Also, strong economic data raised expectations of future interest rate hikes. The Dow rose 0.8%, the S&P 500 added about 0.5%, and the Nasdaq finished flat. The Fed's stress test showed the biggest U.S. banks have enough capital to withstand a severe economic slump. But a potential recession seemed even less likely after reports out Thursday showed weekly jobless claims fell to their lowest level in 20 months. And the economy grew at a 2% clip in the first quarter, well above the prior reading of 1.3%. BMO Family Office Chief Investment Officer Carol Schleif said this means the Fed will continue to keep interest rates high as part of its battle to get inflation back to its 2% target.
It again underpins the fact that in the Fed's dual mandate, they can really focus on the fighting inflation side of it, and they don't have to worry as much about the economy or especially the employment side of things, because employment seems to be handling itself pretty well. It's likely that what the Fed's been telling us for a very long time about higher for longer continues. So there's a lot of support right now to have another hike in July. There's also, I'm sure, some movement in the futures market looking at potentially not only July, but September, because Chairman Powell kept that on the table yesterday in the conversation with the ECB.
Technology stocks suffered losses across the board, including chipmaker Micron Technology, which dropped 4%, even though it beat earnings expectations. While energy company Occidental Petroleum climbed 2% after Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway said it boosted its stake in the company to above 25%.
In market data for oil prices declined towards $74 a barrel and were on course for a fourth consecutive quarter of losses amid concerns over sluggish global economic activity and fuel demand. Brent futures were down 5 cents at $74.46 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude was down 11 cents to $69.75. And that was the business report on PBCJ. I'm Danita Rodney. Back to you, Simone.
Thanks, Danita. In regional news, Prime Minister Mia Mottley on Thursday evening revealed that the African Export-Import Bank has made $1.5 billion available to finance public and private sector projects in Barbados and the region. Prime Minister Mottley says the bank will formally open on August 4 and the money will provide technical assistance.
The other major benefit that we have worked out, there will be a pilot scheme to be able to facilitate our use of the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System, PAPS, which is a huge, huge benefit if it works. And let me explain why. Many of you may remember the CARICOM Multilateral Clearing Facility. And I say many of you, and then maybe change my mind because I now remember how much gray hair I have and how some of us in this room have bald it. The truth is that was in vogue in the early 90s. And you will recall that it came to a stop when one country could not settle its debts with Barbados, which were eventually settled about 7-8 years ago. So it took a long time for it to happen. These payment schemes invariably require some kind of underpinning, backstopping. And the African Exim Bank is prepared to provide that backstopping as they do in Africa at the moment, at this point in time.
The Antiguan government is seeking to establish an international cannabis research center in the country. Chief of Staff in the Prime Minister's office, Ambassador Lionel Hurst, says the facility will work to pinpoint how cannabis can be used to treat cancer. More from ABS News.
Ambassador Hurst says Cabinet discussed the plan with a stakeholder group at its meeting Wednesday. He says the group included a prostate cancer patient who was taking a cannabis injection as part of an experimental treatment.
And one of the doctors who was present yesterday, one of the experts who was present yesterday, explained that this is a more rapid way to get to the cancer, and that there are these anti-cancer agents within the cannabis juice, the cannabis oil, that works on killing off cancer cells.
Cabinet note says many cancer patients are reportedly traveling to the Caribbean for experimental cannabis treatment after exhausting other traditional treatments. The note say the idea is to place Antigua and Barbuda in a position to attract many of those patients.
One of the problems with bush medicine is that you can never be certain, if you're brewing it, exactly what the quantum of the active substance in the bush is in your cup of tea. You can never be certain because it's not measured. So it's a guessing game. But we want to ensure that it's not a guessing game when it comes to trying to save lives utilizing cannabis oils and other kinds of extractions.
The stakeholder group included a medical doctor, a technician from a local medical cannabis firm Grow Antigua, and the head of a Rastafarian group and his deputy.
In the Bahamas, State Minister for Public Service Pierre Glover-Roll is touting the success of a public service pilot professional engagement program. The program is designed to give differently abled Bahamians an opportunity to join the workforce.
Today is the culmination for this group, and the 52-week participants have been successful, and this is what this is a celebration of, the success of their process of apprenticeship or internship that's now turning into full-time employment.
Today, several employees working at Cable Bahamas group of companies were honored for their outstanding work. Glover-Roll congratulating the corporate giant for being a trendsetter.
I will use this as an opportunity to say to corporate Bahamas that Alive CBL has led the way in ensuring inclusivity and diversity in their brand, and they've always been a brand that has recognized inclusivity and diversity. It's been a successful process for Alive, taking on our PSPEP participants that are differently able, and this is the pilot program, so we're encouraging corporate Bahamas to also come on board. There are many differently able persons that are actually very intellectually capable, very proficient, and are excellent workers.
In international news, the United States Supreme Court has ruled that using race to determine who would be admitted to college violates the Constitution. The top court's decision came in response to lawsuits that challenged the policies of Harvard University and the University of North Carolina.
Two of the oldest universities in the United States, Harvard and the University of North Carolina, have used race as one of the many factors to admit potential qualified students. But a group of Asian American students sued UNC and Harvard, claiming the practice denied them access to an elite education in favor of lesser qualified African American and Latino applicants. On Thursday, the U.S. Supreme Court agreed, ruling 6-3 that using race as a factor violated the 14th Amendment to the Constitution and the 1964 Civil Rights Act. While opposing groups of students reacted to the ruling on the court steps, the man behind the students' lawsuits celebrated.
These obligations compel the removal of all racial and ethnic classification boxes from undergraduate and postgraduate application forms.
The incoming president of Harvard said the school is now reworking the way it admits new students while still focusing on diversity.
In sports, sprint star Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is reportedly the new ambassador for luxury watch company Richard Mille. The deal, which be the three-time Olympian's first non-apparel endorsement deal outside of Jamaica, will see her become the second Jamaican to be signed by the luxury watch brand, joining 2011 world champion Johan Blake. The 10-time world champion joins a list of decorated athletes who also represent Richard Mille, including 22-time tennis Grand Slam champion Spain's Rafael Nadal. Time now for news from the world of entertainment with Alicia Steele.
It's another PBCJ's E-News. I'm Alicia, and I'm super excited to share some fun news with you. Kerry Washington's visit to Jamaica, movie night with the Dominican Embassy in Jamaica, BET Awards performances from our local stars. Keep watching for more updates on these stories. American actress Kerry Washington, who is of Jamaican descent, recently visited Jamaica and took part in the Kingston Creative Art Walk. She was seen posing in front of some of the artwork lining the strip, decked in a green, yellow, and red tropical dress. The Kingston creative team thanked her for stopping by, and Washington responded by saying that she was proud to be Jamaican. Jamaica is a popular destination for celebrities, and it's easy to see why. The island has beautiful beaches, a rich culture, and friendly people. If you are looking for a destination for vacation that is both relaxing and exciting, Jamaica is a great place to be. Come on over. The Embassy of the Dominican Republic in Jamaica and GAF Fest hosted a movie night at Cineplex on Sovereign Center in Kingston, Jamaica. The film screen was Bantu Mama, one of the most internationally acclaimed Dominican films directed by Ivan Herrera, who was also present at the event alongside Dominican Ambassador Angie Martinez. The movie night was a success, and here are some of the highlights.
Hi, my name is Ivan Herrera. I'm a director, producer from the Dominican Republic, and I'm here in Jamaica presenting my film Bantu Mama.
Okay, what inspired you to create this film, and how did you come up with the concept?
The film is a story I wrote with my partner in life, which is Clarissa Brecht, who also plays the main character on the film. So we wanted to make a film that represents us both. She being a French African, Afropean, and me being Afro-Caribbean. We wanted to tell a story that unites us and that take us back to Africa together. Africa is a place for rebirth. It can be a place to start all over again. So it's a message about love, family, home, coming home, and humans.
It was amazing. I feel so happy to have the opportunity to showcase in Jamaica the best of the Dominican film, which happened to be a reunion of African, Caribbean, including Dominican Republic, Jamaica, because if you see the movie, there are elements from Jamaica. Even some music was recorded here in Jamaica with Jamaican musicians. Elements that you can find in all the countries of the Caribbean, Cuban, all the countries. Elements from the Dominican Republic for the culture in Dominican Republic, and also France and Europe. So it was a connection, a reunion between cultures that went very, very well. It was a beautiful evening. Thank you very much.
Busta Rhymes, Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes paid tribute to Jamaica and dancehall music during his performance at the 2023 BET Awards. He brought out Spice, Dexadap, Skillybangs, and Cutty Ranks to perform a melody of dancehall hits. The audience loved the performance, and it was a great way to celebrate the influence of Jamaica on hip-hop music. Take a look.
It means a lot to me to take dancehall international. And to be honest, today, you know, I've always been at the BT red carpet, but tonight I'm performing with Busta Rhymes for the Lifetime Achievement Award. And that's not a small thing. That's a very big thing. So let's talk about it. Big up to dancehall, and you know I'm always waving the flag for Jamaica. I'm super humbled, I'm gleeful, I'm grateful to be here. And it's gonna be a vibe. And when I come out on the stage, it's gonna be a moment. Spicy.
We appreciate your viewership of PBCJ's E-News each and every week. I'm Alicia, and I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Hair Addictions Collection for their remarkable hair contributions throughout the show. Their high-quality wigs are affordable at budget-friendly prices. You can locate them on Instagram by searching for @HairAddictionCollections. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the program, and remember to live an entertaining lifestyle.
Thanks, Alicia. And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms @PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.